Hello, everyone. It's been a while since I have been greeting you like this. Um, my eyes have been under attack for an entire month after my last, well, actually, it was even during my last video that I did where I got pink eye. So there was pink eye in my right eye, and that's when I did my last video. But it was slight, and then it moved into my left eye, and then it got progressively worse, and I am just over it now. Like probably about 90% of it is gone. So I know it was an attack. It was an attack straight from hell. I've never had anything like that. Like I've never had pink eye for that. I mean, I think I've had pink eye for like maybe a day or two. I've never had it like that. So I knew when it came why it came. I knew it was because of the content that I was putting out there on God, and I mean, I thought about wearing my glasses, but honestly, it was bad. So they're about 90% better now. And so I feel confident now and being on here and speaking with you. And so, what God has been prompting me to talk about is prayer and the importance of prayer. And it is important. I mean, it's probably the number one reason why it is so important is it gives God permission to work in your life. It's it's like you giving God permission. Like if you give a friend or a family member access to, like you give them your password for to go into your email or on your phone or anything like that. Like you're giving that person permission to go on there and do whatever. So basically, when you pray, you are giving God permission to work in your life, to do the things that He can do and that you can't do. So without the prayer, His hands are tied. Yes, He does. He is a God of. Like he's a sovereign God, and even people who don't pray to him, even people who don't believe in him, because of the world that he created, he does bless people. But the abundance, the riches of the blessings, and that they would receive if he allowed them into their lives would be greater than those that they have because of lack of prayer. So he blesses non-believers, atheists, just as well as he blesses people who are followers. But he is limited in what he can do in their life. So when you pray to God, you are giving God permission to do what only he can do and to bless you in ways that you wouldn't be able to be blessed without his prayers. So that's the number one reason why it is so important to pray, because you're actually inviting him into your world and allowing him to do only what he can do. So. And another thing about prayer, I mean, like the really good thing about prayer, just thinking about this, yeah, and I'm going to put my glasses on. But the really good thing about prayer is also like, for us, prayer is one way of releasing our stresses. So it's one way of detoxing, like any kind of mental, like things that are on our mind, like mentally, detoxing the brain, detoxing all of the things that are going on in our world, like just kind of letting it out. I think, and honestly and truly, um, gossip is not a good thing. So gossiping is not a good thing. I know it may feel good. it's easy to do, but really and truly, it is not a good thing because none of us are perfect. And so none of us are perfect. So to sit there and criticize someone else is really like putting yourself on a pedestal and saying, well, I'm better than that person. Like when you sit there and you talk about people and you put people down, it's like saying, they're there. That's why I can speak badly of them. And I'm here. So gossiping is not good. But if you do really feel the need, because I mean, like sometimes you do need to let out, like, there are times when, there are toxic situations or things going on that you actually do need to talk about. I mean, let's be honest. There are things that you have to talk about. There are, toxic, like I said, toxic situations or just bad behavior where yes, you do have to, pull someone aside and like express what you're going through because of that. But I mean, to express it to one person is one thing. To express it to 20 people is another thing. You don't need to do that. You really don't. But I digress. The reason why I brought gossip up is because the one person that is really good to gossip to is God. It is not a sin to gossip to God about people. It isn't. He doesn't have a problem with it. And the good thing about gossiping to God about people is that he will give you insight as to what's going on in the world. So, like, you get close enough to him, and like, if you talk to him about people, he will reveal things to you. And sometimes the information that he gives you is information to help you understand why they are behaving or acting or doing the things that they are doing. And sometimes, so it's very helpful because sometimes he can help you to understand why the person you're having a problem with or like the situation that you're in with somebody, why it is going the way it is going. So by gossiping to him, he can give you clarity and help you. And also he can help, with the situation. So that's why he is a good person to gossip to, because you're not sinning if you gossip to him. So I mean, that's, like I said, it's prayer, and prayer is communication with God. And so gossiping to God is one way of communicating to him and getting that stuff off your chest and, just feeling lighter as a result of it. And like I said, you're not bad mouthing anyone. You're not putting that information out there. And and God will give you clarity, and God will give you ways and solutions on how to deal with the situation. So that is, that's, an extension of, you know, praying. It is praying. It's, talking. He wants to hear from you about everything, so you never have to worry about what you say to God. I mean, don't put God down or say bad things to God about him, but but your concerns and things, he already knows what you're thinking. And but he wants you to express it. By you expressing it, again, that's releasing something to him, that's inviting him into the conversation. So even though he knows what you're thinking, but by you actually saying it, you're inviting him into the situation so he can do something about it. So yeah, that's just the thing about praying. I just put my glasses on and see what else I have written down here about why prayer is important. Okay, it helps you to become spiritually in tuned to his presence. So what happens is when you pray and when you pray consistently, like when you pray, you're inviting God into your world. So like I said, you're not only inviting him into your problems, you're not inviting him into like your entire world, like to do things, but you're inviting him into your environment, into your atmosphere. So by doing that, like you become more sensitive. Like with time, the more you pray to him, you become more sensitive to his presence. He, like, we all have angels, and we all have. But when you pray, you're activating more of those angels into your world to do more things for you. So some people have a few angels, and some people have many angels. And a lot of it really has to do with the walk. Those who are close to him um, are going to be assigned more, naturally, because they have a relationship with him. So just inviting God, like praying to God, you are activating his angels to come into your world as well, to fight for you, to protect you, to um, open doors for